Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to show you a sped up version of my Pixel Pikachu. Throughout this video I am going to give commentary on what I did and didn't do right, followed by a slowed down tutorial toward the end of the video. Also in this video, at the end, I show how I handle the back side of these pieces. This is just my way. If you guys have another way, I'd love to see it. Now please enjoy me put together this Pikachu and figure out how to properly record a pixel piece for you guys. I would say tip number one for recording is make sure your head and shoulders are out of the picture as much as possible. As you see, it took me a minute or two to figure that out, but now it's a pretty good shot. The next tip I have is to go line by line on these pixel pieces. It is very easy to want to skip ahead and do several black double half hitch knots in a row and stagger it all around, but it makes it easier to lose your place. So do it line by line, as tedious as doing 47 light yellow double half hitch knots in a row may feel. So I pieced all of this video together, sped it up, and made a copy of it, and then tried to split this video apart and slow it down, and it does not slow down as easily as it speeds up. For this reason, on this specific Pikachu, I cannot slow it down and show you how I get my not so uniform, so I will explain it to you. I like to compare pixel pieces to a fraction. In fractions, they say what you do to the top, you must do to the bottom. So in a pixel piece, what you do to this knot, you must do to every other knot. And what I mean by that is you have to give the same amount of tension to every knot, and you should probably hold your hand the same way every time you tie your knot. The main way I achieve this uniform look on my pixel pieces is I end every double half hitch knot toward the back of my piece. This leads me into my next knot, being as a double half hitch knot starts from the back, and it also puts my extra cord that I'm not using, the leftover chunks, in the back as well. So just remember, what you do to one knot, you must do to all knots. Same tension, same tying, same direction, just everything the same. The last basic useful tip I have for you is to cut your excess cords now after each piece. You'll see I do it after each piece I add on. It is a bit of a nightmare to cut off the excess of 2,600 knots at the end of this piece. So do it line by line. You will regret it if you do not. That was my last bit of advice until I get to the bottom dowel that I add on. Enjoy my Pikachu.
you're really good at saying what you mean. Suppress my feelings, 'cause I know what's best for me. Feel short of confidence, my hands begin to shake. I thought I knew you, but I barely knew your name. Porcelain stuck to your teeth, you got everything, and I can't believe how I've been let down again and again and again. And I'm paranoid, what's under my skin? I got careless eyes to let you back in. Why do I do this again and again and again? Porcelain stuck to your teeth, you got porcelain under your skin, and I'm all for it again and again and again. For someone you don't even know what you could have done. To tell you the truth, I love porcelain. You put down the phone, you've nowhere to go. Get back on the road, yeah, it's over. Dotted line, the red stop sign, no room to go slower. You do it today, you do it again in a week. You're a fake, you're a freak, you're a parasite sucking a leech. Come on, man, it's over. Yeah, it's over now. What a waste of time, what a waste of time to fall so far behind. You're back on the beat, distorted and cheap. You're a villain, what the fuck are you selling? You're a sham, I won't fall at your feet. Now come on, man, you're older. Yeah, you're older now. What a waste of time to fall so far behind. You're out in the street, feeling weak and defeated. It's all that you needed, though, to find a new home, to find a new home where flowers grow, to bow after the show. It's so relieving getting told to
Okay, so here I slowed it down, and I am going to do a double half hitch knot every 2 bass chords. I was doing it every 3 at first, and it started to warp the base of the picture, the bottom right there. So I just do it every 2 chords, 2 at a time. So every 4 chords I skip 2. I like to put my first knot in at the beginning and a second knot in here at the end to make sure it can stay level, or as level as possible, while putting this rod on. And then I continue doing double half hitch knots with 2 chords, and every 4 chords I skip 2 chords. And same analogy, what you do to one knot, you do to the other knot. So keep them all the same tension, all the same length, all the same everything. Now it is time for the back, which everybody always has questions for. I laid down some towels just in case my surface is dirty. And then I go ahead and separate what chords will and will not be glued down. So for starters, these long chords that did not go in the double hitch knot around my rod would be ones that I take out. On either side of my pixel piece, I will be hot gluing in a little bit of stabilizing, 2 rods. Please excuse my recording. I did not realize my shoulder was going to be blocking this off. So I hot glue in some wooden dowels, thin, strong ones, just to add in some strength to my piece. Then I'm going to hot glue the cord left over, hanging off to the side, over this dowel. I am putting hot glue only on the dowel that I already hot glued in place. This helps keep it uniform and helps make sure the glue does not bleed through. You do not want to put too much hot glue so that it bleeds through and you can see it on the other side. Just enough that it adheres really nicely. So I go down the line and nicely hot glue all these cords down. Then I put this extra line of glue as just an added layer of defense so it doesn't come apart. And then honestly for me at this point, it's just a lot of nicely laying the cords down and trimming some of the cords that have become, they're too long, and then just laying everything nicely down. You can't really trim these up too much. In my experience, if you trim these cords too short, they can poke through the other side, and then they're really hard to get them out of the other side because they're so small and there's so many little pieces you don't know where it's coming from. So here I am just continuing to trim extra long cords, and then I am nicely laying things down. Also right here, I did such a long line of black, nothing was ever connected right by Pikachu's ear and his eye. So I'm gonna add in an extra dowel or two to give just some extra reinforcement. I don't want that sinking in. So I'm looking for a nice spot to hot glue it in, out of sight always. And then I put a second dowel a little further down by his cheek on the same side. Just hold it in. And then I lay them all the same direction, as you can see. And it might look like I'm just going crazy with the hot glue gun. I am not. I am actually just trying to get all of these cords to lay together. And the goal of doing this is I don't want any of the cords to start poking through the other side when it's hanging on someone's wall. You can see how I lay these cords down and add the dowels down much better on this side, as I am not in the way. So again, I just glue down some small, thin, strong wooden dowels, and then I glue my excess cord down onto the wooden dowel. And then I'm also adding more glue to the excess cord that's just laying there. And then I add the thin little layer over all the cord I just glued down just to make sure it stays there. Lastly, I am going to take these extra cords that didn't go in the double half hitch onto the dowel, and I'm going to glue them down as well. I do not add them to the wooden dowel because they don't, it stretches out the picture and it's too much. You're supposed to do a reverse lark's head. No, excuse me. You are supposed to do a traveling lark's head, I believe it is called. I wanted the bottom to match the top, but I am not good at that knot yet. And after trying a few times, I decided to go with this method. So as you can see, I cut it down so it's not just a huge cord. Put some glue at the bottom, lay the cord over the hot glue, and then put a little bit of glue over the cord. So I'm just adhering it to more cord. Big reveal. Boom. Looks really nice. None of the glue shows through. Looks like my support behind the cheek and his head worked out well. And now the last thing I'm going to do is cut these hanging cords even. I tried to use these boxes as a guide. It did not work. I always struggle with this part. Always cut off as little as you can, because you're gonna make a mistake like I did right here. I end up just eyeballing this, and lucky me, because it doesn't usually come out as good as it did when I eyeballed it this last time. And there you have it. There is my final piece, my Pikachu. There's a zoom in up close. You can see its texture. I decided not to have a hanger on this one and just decided to have it hang with hooks. If you liked this video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Have a wonderful day.